Hi everyone, I am here to demonstrate how to create a visual pattern which will help us find all prescribers who were referred to by a specified prescriber who also belong to the same community as the specified prescriber. So before we start, we have to first add some data to the referral edge because right now it does not have any data, and we can do so by first installing all the queries in the right queries page. So installing all these queries is going to take some time, and so I'm just going to skip ahead until when the installation is all finished. After the installation have finished, we will have to run the x2 underscore main query. So run it, and now our referral edges have been filled with some data. Next, I'm going to give this visual pattern a name. I'm going to give it the name Find Referred Community Members. Now I'm going to add a description. Find all prescribers who were referred by a specified prescriber who also belong to the same community as the specified prescriber. Next, I'm going to analyze the schema. So here's our schema. I have the prescriber vertex, and each prescriber vertex have a prescriber ID, a page rank attribute, and a community ID attribute. And we also have the referral edge. So these vertices and edges are what we need to create this visual pattern. Next, I'm going to pick the vertex and edge patterns that I've mentioned before. Next, I'm going to give this prescriber vertex pattern the name P1, and also I'm going to give this visual pattern the parameter. The pattern name is prescriber ID, and this parameter will be used to specify the ID of the specific prescriber whose referrals we're interested in. And next, I'm going to add a filter to the other prescriber vertex pattern. I'm going to use the equals filter. I'm going to find other prescribers who have been referred to by prescriber P1 who has the same community ID as prescriber P1. Because we want to find other prescribers who have been referred to who belong to the same community as P1. Next, I'm going to set this prescriber vertex pattern as the output. So what this visual pattern does is that it finds all the prescribers who have been referred to by prescriber P1 who has the same community ID as prescriber P1 and thus belong to the same community as prescriber P1. I'm going to save this pattern. Now I'm going to run the pattern. I'm going to use the vertex ID PRE69. And so here's our output. Here are all the prescribers who have been referred to by prescriber whose ID is PRE69 and who also belong to the same community as the prescriber whose ID is PRE69.